The contents of this presentation will cover several topics. We'll look at sort of an introduction of the news service itself, talk about demographics of our readership, talk about the impact of the news service. The Southwest Region News Service is a team effort. Extension specialists in the region submit content. It is also a program that is unique to Southwest Region. Here you have a screenshot of the top part of the email blast that goes out each week as part of the Southwest Region News Service. It contains the 8 to 10 stories that we send out each week. We have a large subscriber base. At the recording of this message, we have about 9,000 individuals or members of the general public that subscribe, along with over 500 journalists. People can subscribe and unsubscribe themselves to our news blast. And if you have contacts or extension council members that need to be added, you can send those email addresses to David Burton in an Excel file, and we'll do a bulk load update to our database. Really, our goal is to have every single council member in the region subscribe to this news blast so they know what's going on in the region and what programs are coming up. So if you don't get it currently, please, I'm asking you, please, to get subscribed, talk to your local CPD or secretary, or submit your own email address so you can receive this each week. I did a subscriber demographic study in 2013 to look at who is actually receiving our emailed news service. 92% of our readership is in Missouri. 7% come from neighboring states, with Kansas, Arkansas, and Oklahoma leading the way. Most of our subscribers, 44%, are in Greene County. Of course, Greene County is an urban county. You see other counties in the area, Christian and Taney, that come in second and third. But if you would like to have more people in your region receiving this email, then help us advertise it and market it. Include links to it on registration forms and on your website so people can sign up and register themselves for it. Let people know about it, programs, and at the very least, get your council members and your master gardeners and others that you have email addresses for, get them subscribed and on the list to receive it. The Southwest Region News Service is the most effective way to communicate about MU Extension in this region. It's emailed out for speed and for savings, so we're not pestering journalists, especially with multiple emails. It also ensures that MU Extension media releases follow the same style and language and format, that there's a consistency and a high level of quality. But in terms of print, radio, and TV, we are able to assign a value to them by tracking where our content shows up and how it is used and what it would cost us to place that same type of material in print, TV, or radio. By tracking that, we're able to document that this news service has an impact that exceeds $2 million a year. Back in 1998, 2 years before I began with Extension, the media coverage for Extension in this region had an annual value of about $40,000. So since 2006, we have averaged over $2 million worth of print, TV, and radio news coverage each year. Our statistical print readership that we can document exceeds 75 million readers annually. And you'd be surprised where the news content shows up. I've seen our releases used nationally, both by Associated Press or by publications outside of our region. I've even seen our news content showing up in church bulletins. So thanks to email and forwarding, it can show up any number of places. We have a regional Facebook page known as MU Extension 417, but that's also the name we use for our other regional social media, which includes a blog, a YouTube channel, Twitter, and also Flickr. Our social media reach exceeds 30,000 people most months. How Facebook and others account for that reach has changed in recent years, and so that number has actually decreased some. We do not pay to boost, post, or do online advertising, so that is part of the reason for that decrease. Here's a sample from our MU Extension Facebook page. That's MU Extension 417. If you're a council member or individual of the public, please like that page and follow it. If you're a regional specialist, you can submit content for me for that page, or I can set you up as a co-creator so you can post your own content. In 2014, I conducted a survey of the followers of MU Extension 417, and 100% of them said they had learned something from MU Extension 417. 100% of them said that we had posted information that had increased their knowledge or helped them gain new skills. And 95% of them were actually able to give examples of things they had learned from posts that we had made to social media. Our YouTube channel gets over 100,000 views a year, which is significant, and it's also a way to reach a larger audience with our education. And it does have an impact. Just take a look at some of these comments. The first one, our family watched your video and created a disaster kit following your instructions. Another one here says, I have used your parliamentary procedure video several times in my classroom instruction. It is a good basic explanation and a great tool for me as a teacher. Now, what are the top 10 videos on our YouTube channel? I'll let you take a look. This is based on viewership numbers. You can see the one we have on drying food is our most popular. But parliamentary procedure is in the top 5 there also, as is a video on peach leaf curl. And on these other ones, our Xeriscape garden tour, one on making snow ice cream, and one on creating a disaster kit round out our top 5 videos. In social media, we also have a regional photo library that is on Flickr. That's flickr.com, MU Extension 417. You can share photos. We have photos there of all of our staff and photos that go with all of our news stories also. So what is the life of a media release and how is it treated in the region? Well, this gives you some basic ideas of our process. A media release begins with a quality draft from a specialist. It can announce a program, or it can be educational and informational. It's best to write a media release in third person. That's what media outlets prefer. And then you can email the content to David Burton with at least 2 weeks lead time prior to when you need it to be used. A media release is not like writing a term paper. It doesn't need to be super long, and it doesn't need to have footnotes. If you're an extension specialist, you are an expert on the topic, and you are the one that will be quoted. 400 words is really the maximum length we want on media releases. That's really considered a long news story. It's helpful if you focus on key aspects of the program that you want announced and maybe give a reason to attend. If you can give community contacts or individuals that will be coming to a program, that helps the story be expanded by your local news media. And in terms of the focus of media releases, there's a saying, if someone asks you the time, don't tell them how to make a clock. And that's really the same for media releases. Keep it simple and keep the focus very narrow. Now, when regional extension specialists send a media release to me, I'll do several things to it. I'll evaluate it, timeliness, especially in comparison to other pending content that I have. Date-sensitive material goes first. I try and limit our content that's distributed to 8 to 10 media releases a week. Each release is edited and formatted and sent by email to journalists and subscribers. If the release is dated, it will go out sooner, but it will also go out a week later after the first news service blast as a special blast to journalists in a particular zone. I target them as to where that media release has the most relevance. Right now, most of our releases, all of our releases actually, are posted on the AgAb University website through Extension. That makes it widely available statewide and accessible as a text file. And the AgAb links are really handy to share content by social media. Release content can be picked up by extension.org. That happens quite a bit. By our university radio program, by the Associated Press, or it can even be expanded on by large market media. And then we often promote our news content on KOLR in some of our spots. You can help this news service process for the whole region by getting to know your local reporters. If a reporter contacts you, please respond in a timely manner. There are times that state and national news stories need our expertise. I try to keep a watch out for those. Gardening and nutrition both are hot topics nationally right now, and those are things relevant to what Extension does best. So some basics on learning how to write a media release. There are some templates available for download on the Greene County Extension website under the news service, publications, and resources. There are also some brochures on the basics of quality news writing that you may find helpful. Now to introduce a new program. This new program is designed to engage council and council members as well as our clients. We're always talking about testimonials and that type of information, but we need people singing our praises. It's a little something I call ESP. It's Expert Source Program. So the Expert Source Program, this is a project that has the potential to increase community volunteer participation with MU Extension in this region. It's also a way to further engage our council members and clients in explaining how educational programs from MU Extension have helped them and therefore helping to tell the MU Extension story. So ESP identifies individuals who benefit from MU Extension and are willing to share that experience with journalists. ESP also requires having accurate contact information for individuals and a listing of topics that they can discuss. Once in place, the ESP should expand our use of volunteers in the community. We are going to work this out of the Greene County office, maintaining this accurate list of contact information. I have forms for council members and clients who would like to serve as a source for us. I have those forms available online. We'll compile those and keep them in our office. And when we have media phone calls looking for a particular farmer or maybe someone who's done a particular type of program, we'll have names that we can share with them for follow-up, and we'll try and keep in contact with these individuals also that have expressed an interest so that they can be encouraged and understand the importance of talking about MU Extension in their interview and talking about how an extension program has helped them. This will provide a more visible example to extension councils and other area specialists of the value of media relations in this region, and has the power to increase awareness of MU Extension programs, which can lead to increased revenue and increased partnership. The development of a regional expert source program will help me better promote MU Extension events in the area, and that should lead to increased program attendance and increased revenue for county councils as well as MU Extension. So I think ESP has the potential for statewide application, and it will in time strengthen the MU Extension brand, increase attendance in our programs, and increase our revenue. So does the Southwest Region News Service make a difference? Some extension specialists will tell you that the news service has helped their career and helped them build a vita. What about members of the public? Well, I actually do an annual survey of our public readership, and I always get pretty good response. Our most recent readership survey was in 2014. I've asked these same types of questions for at least 8, maybe 10 years now. But in 2014, 93% of our readers said the news service increased their knowledge of extension programs. 70% of our readership said the news service provided them with information that caused them to do something different. Many of those were able to give examples of what they learned and what it caused them to do differently. And 91% of our readers said the news service increased their awareness of issues in Southwest Missouri. We have testimonies and feedback frequently from individuals that say this news service has made a big difference. So you can see on this slide one who So the news service helped them get pasture leases set up, gave them the right resources and contacts, and even though they'd been renting land for years, they'd never come up with a rental lease agreement for the family farm, so it was a help in that way. Others will say that they just learn great and useful information each week. Here's one that says, I appreciate the information in this news service. Always find something I can put to use. This weekend you will find me laying newspaper in my back garden as a result of what I read in this week. It was a release that we sent out about using newsprint for weed barriers in gardens. So public readership says it has a big impact. So do the media in this region and journalists that use our content. Some have used it to fill holes in their newspaper, sort of a cut and paste filler content, but it is highly prized among area journalists. So the Southwest Region News Service is a community development program that helps people have the information they need to work together to find solutions. The news service helps Missourians make connections with MU Extension. It gets our council members and our clients involved, especially this expert source program. I will say that a big user of our content is also nonprofit organizations. So again, another community development aspect for the news service. If you need additional information, here is my contact information. And I do thank you for taking the time to watch this video.